Hello and welcome to my channel, Rhino here. Today I'm slacking off a bit. And by slacking I mean working hard now so I can slack later, but only slack on YouTube because I'll be working hard at my job. Long story short, YouTube is now officially a part-time job for me, and so I adjusted my availability at my full-time job to reflect that. I like to think that my last few videos have seen an increase in quality as a result, but of course I am a touch biased. I have put more work into them, even if it is behind-the-scenes work that isn't immediately obvious to the viewers, but since I work in a restaurant, I do have to operate under the assumption that they are going to schedule me quite heavily during the week of Christmas and New Year's, so in preparation for that, I am trying to get a backlog of videos so I can take a week or two off of YouTube without actually missing a video. As such, I will be hitting softballs for the next couple weeks, starting with a Q&A video. I'll start by letting you know that I do have a website. It's not much, but it is there, and there is a frequently asked questions page. The link for that will always be in the description, but there's no point in clicking that now since I'm going to go through it in this video anyway. Woohoo! Tautological repetitive redundancy! Okay, so on to the actual questions. Starting with why did I call myself Rhino? Well, the main reason is that I'm bad at coming up with screen names, so I use anagrams. But I've already used all the good anagrams for my actual name, so I thought it would be neat to use an apologist name instead. Eric Hovind was the first name that I thought to type in, and in the top segment of the results was Rhino Viced. Rhino Vice sounds stupid, but I liked the sound of Vice Rhino. Also, I enjoyed the fact that his name is also an anagram for CD Heroin IV. So anagrams are fun, and I'm not creative, and that is how my YouTube channel was born. And next question, who is the lady at the beginning of your videos? The actual woman is an actress named Alex Kingston, but I know her best as Professor Riversong from Doctor Who. She is a recurring character, and one of her usual opening lines is, "Hello, sweetie."
Hello, sweetie. Hello, sweetie. Hello, sweetie. Hello, sweetie. Hello, sweetie.
Why do I use it in every video? Because when I started my channel, I decided that I wanted my videos to open the same way every time so that anyone who's familiar with me knows that it's me right off the bat. So, brand recognition, I guess. I didn't really put a lot of thought into it, but it works. I like it. Who is the artist for your avatar? Furry Skeptic. Her links will be in the description of every video. She has a Twitter and a YouTube channel. I enjoy her channel even if there isn't much content there yet. It's definitely worth checking out. And while she is not a pro artist in the sense that her art is how she makes her living, she does take on the occasional commission, so if you like what you see of her art so far, and you're looking for something like that, give her a shout. And this leads into the next question. Am I a furry? Short answer is no, I am not. The Rhino thing was just a coincidence with Eric Hovind's name. Slightly longer answer is that I can understand part of the appeal. Animals are cute, humans can be cute. Mix a cute animal with a cute human and you get uber cute. That's the part of the appeal I understand. I know there is more to it than that, but like I said, it's not my thing, so I don't get the rest of it. But I'm not being judgy. If it is your thing, then go for it. Have fun. I don't understand why furries get hate on the internet. Oh, wait. Internet. That's why. Everyone gets hate on the internet. Mystery solved. Next up, where do I get my backgrounds? Well, the vast majority of them are from a Vimeo channel called Beeple. Sometimes I have used backgrounds created by a company called AAVFX, and I have occasionally made my own background. Those are the ones that look like crap, generally speaking. I haven't used one of my own in a while. Anyway, I usually use Beeple, but the link to whatever I have used in that specific video will be in the description. Do I YouTube full-time? I already touched on this, but no, I do not YouTube full-time. That is the eventual goal, and as a step in that direction, I have decreased my availability at my actual job. As a result, I've had more time to properly research whatever video I'm working on at the time, and have been able to put out the occasional second video in a week. I have lots of plans for the future of my channel, so many in fact that Mrs. Rhino gives the classic eye roll whenever I start rambling about what I want to do next. Next question is, what equipment and software do you use to make your videos? Starting with the software, I record and edit my audio in Reaper using a Blue Yeti microphone. I used to use Audacity, which is a fantastic free option, but Reaper is very affordable, coming in at just $60 US as long as you make less than $20,000 a year with it, and still only $225 after that. The reason I switched was because Reaper, while hard to learn at first, greatly improved the efficiency of my workflow. For video, I use DaVinci Resolve, which is an amazing video editor, and the price is right. It's free. I slightly prefer After Effects, but with how powerful Resolve is for free, I can't currently justify spending $80 a month on the Adobe subscription. For hardware, I run an AMD Ryzen 7 2700X with 32GB of RAM and a GTX 1050 Ti graphics card. And I know it seems odd to pair the currently top-of-the-line Ryzen 7 2700X with the almost bottom-of-the-barrel GTX 1050 Ti, but the main bulk of the work my computer has to do is in DaVinci Resolve, which relies very heavily on the processor. A better graphics card would definitely help, but I was on a budget and decided that the processor was more important in this case, and this decision was vindicated by the fact that since buying this PC, my videos only take about 5 to 10 minutes to render, whereas they used to take at least half an hour. Next question. Were you ever religious, and which religion or denomination? Yes, I was. I grew up in the United Church of Canada. I was an odd breed of Christian in that I was raised in a very moderate church with a very moderate mother and an atheist father, but I ended up becoming a young earth creationist. My view was that if God was all-powerful, then surely he could make his instruction book to humanity say whatever he wanted it to say, and it would be uncorruptible, so it would make sense in whatever language it was translated into. Therefore, when it says that he created the world in 6 days, that's what it meant. It didn't take long for me to find the accounts of people having added up the ages of all the people given in the Bible and coming to the conclusion that the earth is only a few thousand years old. It didn't help matters that I attended a Christian high school of the Brethren in Christ denomination. I don't think the BIC Church is officially young earth creationist, but a number of my teachers at the high school definitely were. Notably a geography teacher who was almost everybody's favorite teacher, and he would often insert comments into his lessons about things like the ice canopy pre-flood model. When I graduated high school and went off on my own, I ended up at a Pentecostal church for several years. I left that church when the pastor started a sermon series on why giving money to the church is so uber important, and he made it clear that he wouldn't stop the series until everyone in the congregation was tithing. It was a very small church with only a dozen or so members, and clearly he was just worried about his own income, but after week 7 of being guilted and shamed into giving, which my wife and I were already doing, I had had enough. I ended up back in a BIC church where I felt more comfortable. This was the church that I attended until I came to terms with atheism and stopped attending altogether. Okay, that covers most of my FAQ section. There are a couple that I didn't really touch on, so you can head over to my website to check them out if you want. Now on to some actual specific questions straight from you guys. Addo Marsh asks, are you watching the Aaron Ra versus Kent Hovind debate? What are your thoughts on it, and what, if anything, should Aaron do differently? I am keeping an eye on it, and I am enjoying it immensely. For those of you who may not be aware, the atheist activist Aaron Ra had a discussion with Kent Hovind on the Non Sequitur show a while ago, and it was amazing. After the discussion, Kent started whining about not being able to get equal time in the discussion, so he proposed a video debate, which Aaron accepted. But Kent is a slippery little fellow, so he keeps taking down his responses, so Aaron has been mirroring them so he can continue responding. The only thing that I wish he would do differently would be to have separate playlists for Kent's responses and Aaron's responses, mainly because I'm only interested in Aaron's. I trust him enough that I don't think he would deceptively edit Kent, and I know from personal experience that Kent can ramble for impressive amounts of time without saying anything at all, so I'd rather not waste my time with Kent's videos. I will link to the playlist for this in the description of this video. Persquire asks, are you okay with people calling you Vic? Because we do. As in, did you see Vic's latest episode? It doesn't bother me, but it doesn't really make much sense to me either. I mean, if you think Vic suits me, then go for it. NPC 66669 asks, how do you rate Justin Trudeau from 1 worst to 10 best? Same for Trump. I'm going to dispense with the numbered rating system. I don't really like that, but I'll just say I'm not a fan of Trudeau. He's too waffly on important issues, like the fact that he agrees on the one hand that we need to go 100% renewable energy, but then he doesn't oppose the construction of the Coastal GasLink pipeline, which, in order to make sense financially, would have to run for at least 30 years. So on the one hand, he tries to appease people who are concerned about the environment, but on the other hand, he's okay with investing heavily in the future of what would, in an ideal world, be an obsolete industry. Why not invest that $4.8 billion in renewable energy instead? And of course there's his overly political correct nonsense. I'm not going anti-SJW, don't worry, but he just seems to not have any situational awareness, and it's embarrassing at times. Speaking of embarrassment, Trump. I don't think much of Trump at all. He is, in my opinion, the worst president the United States has ever had. The man is a joke. Every time I see him talk or read his tweets, I am astonished that he is actually the president of one of the most powerful nations on Earth. Irish Swede asks, what holiday celebrated only on a different continent would you want your country to celebrate as well? Now, I know this isn't probably what you had in mind with this, but if I could import one holiday to North America, it would be the Friday following Ascension Day. mainly because I think it would be pretty funny to have a holiday named after a day after a holiday that we don't celebrate. Joe B says, can you address the whole atheists are equivalent to nihilists thing? I can't address the whole thing in this video, that has the potential to be a topic all on its own, but the short answer is that a nihilist, according to the dictionary, is someone who rejects all religious and moral principles, often in the belief that life is meaningless. I don't reject all moral principles, and I don't believe that life is meaningless, and I know several other atheists who share this opinion, so no, not all atheists are nihilists. Now, I'm sorry, I'm about to butcher this pronunciation, but Vincente Garza Reyna, asks, do you know any language other than English? Not really, no. I can speak some broken French, I know some key Japanese phrases, and I can insult you in 6 languages. That's about it. Again from... oh, fuck it, you're VGR now. VGR asks, what's your favorite song/artist? I don't really have a favorite song, it depends completely on what mood I'm in, but my favorite band is Alter Bridge. Now, that being said, I have a very eclectic taste in music, and my playlist contains everything from Mendelssohn and Bach to Our Lady Peace to Metallica to Hans Zimmer to, well, you get the idea. I'm not a fan of most rap or country, but aside from that, almost anything goes. BMF asks, do these guys ever change their minds when they get shown to be completely wrong? Well, the people whose videos I respond to have never contacted me saying that they changed their mind. I have, however, received several messages from people who were on the side of young Earth creationism and were helped out of it by channels like mine. That's one reason why I do this. I don't expect that Ken Ham himself will one day shake my hand and thank me for making him an atheist, or at least an evolution-accepting Christian, but some of his followers might, and have. C. Brown... Charlie, is that you? Anyway, C. Brown asks, are you deleting my comments? No, I'm not. I am terrible at comment maintenance. I don't have the time or motivation to go through all my comments and delete the ones I don't like. If you comment on one of my videos and it doesn't show up, then the most likely scenario is that the YouTube bots have flagged the comment as potentially spam and have hidden it for me to review and reject or approve later. The last time I actually did that was about 6 months ago though, so there's currently about 1,500 comments sitting in my spam purgatory. Did I mention I'm bad at this? Sorry. John Hughes quotes me when he says, in 1962, Darwin successfully predicted a moth with a proboscis exceeding 30 centimeters. That's right, little known fact, Darwin was still practicing science and demonstrating his theory to the ripe old age of 153. Just don't check my sources on that particular tidbit. Vladimir Putin says, man, you are one pedantic cretin. Thanks, Vlad. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you enjoy the holiday season, and to do my part in the war on Christmas, I wish you all very happy holidays. Ooh. Remember to follow me on Twitter and support me on Patreon. See you next time.